let me ask you something. If I have $100 of hex, okay,
Yeah.
and then Pulse X comes out, I get the whatever the conversion or
No,
whatever.
you don't get Pulsex.
How do I know? Whatever. When Pulse X comes out, what am I gonna get for having 100 hex?
You're gonna have 100 hex.
What is it gonna be worth $100? The same thing or
No, it's
no?
gonna be 100 hex on Pulse Chain.
So why would I change my hex to Pulse X then? What's the point of that? If I have $100 of hex and I'm not gonna get $100 of hex on the Pulse X, well, what's the incentive of doing that?
Well, you just don't understand.
Well, no. Well, what's the incentive of doing that?
Bro, it's a
What do I
system
benefit from
state
that?
copy. You have 100 hex in your wallet. There's a copy. It's
What's it
copying
worth?
all contracts, all coins.
I
So you
get
have
it, but
100
what's it
hex in
worth?
your wallet on Pulse Chain. It's very simple.
So I'm gonna have
No,
$100
what? Why do you
equivalent.
say dollars?
Well, because you're doing this to make money, right?
No,
So
no,
if
no,
I
no,
have a
bro,
hundred,
bro.
if
You
I
see,
spent
this
a
is where you're
hundred dollars,
wrong. This is where you're wrong. There's no value, bro. In crypto, you're talking about $100, but it's like it's not $100. It's not. Get this out of your head. It's 1,000 coins. You get 1,000 coins on the other side. It's a system state.
$100.
No, not dollars. You have 1,000 hex. You get 1,000
You
hex.
have to pay for these coins, no?
Okay, so it doesn't matter, bro. But if you pay for it, it's because that's what you paid for it. How do you think you're getting $1,000 for free? That doesn't make sense.
I'm not thinking that. I'm saying, what's the incentive of switching over or getting over the switch of my hex?
What's the point of the
Well,
money? That's because you just want to dump it. It doesn't make sense, bro. Well, you have the coins
No,
on the other
I
side.
don't
Why
want to dump.
wouldn't
I
you
don't even
bring
have
your
hex. I'm
coin?
asking.
Why wouldn't you bring something to the other side to buy it? Why? So you never brought ETH to another place, or you never brought Binance back in?
No, but I'm saying what I'm saying is, why are you guys pushing to go to Pulse X when there's no incentive to do that? Why would I switch over my hex? Why wouldn't I sell it before it dumps? Makes no sense to have a copy on the Pulse X chain that does nothing. That's not worth nothing. That doesn't make sense.
It's about perceived value. That's why
It's
people
not a
do
copy
it. To
though. It's
answer your
the
question,
same coin.
it, it's about perceived value,
It's the same
and
coin, bro. Because
it's about believing
no, it's
in
not
the
even about
project.
that. That's just the kumbaya bullshit that we're just saying. But the real value is because when you have hex, the contract of hex, if you have the token that was spewed out by the actual contract address that is hex, then you're able to
Yeah.
utilize the utility within its functions of its contract, not use cases
So
which are like liquidity,
what are
swapping.
what are the
The
utilities? Like,
utility is to interact
that's
with
what
the
I'm trying to
contract
share.
find.
and to
What
get
do I gain from
inflation,
that?
to get a yield mechanism in order to get inflation. To get the inflation
Okay.
of hex on chain, because when you're on Ethereum, the hex inflates itself and it's rewards. It's called staking rewards. The staking rewards of hex are
Yeah.
paid out as.
That's what I'm trying to understand. What's the point
So the only way is
like,
that
why
if
is
you,
everybody getting
how are
excited for
you
Pulse
supposed to
X?
buy p hex?
I don't know. That's why I'm asking. I'm trying to understand what's
I'm
going on
trying to
here.
explain to them that they shouldn't bring in their hex into the thing and that they should bring the PRCs to Ethereum because that never happened in Binance, that never happened in AVAX. All the coins are getting copied in the system state where all the coins are there. Therefore, when you bring the coin back to ETH, it's a brand new coin. So you could pair that coin to something that is valuable. So technically, what they would
Yeah,
want to do is that they're going to take their Ethereum hex, and someone's going to bring Ethereum hex to Pulse Chain and pair it to P hex, and there's going to be a ratio. So people are going to take their hex, bring it to Pulse, and they're going to trade it. A lot of people are going to
I
do
know,
that.
but you were saying before that people have to sell their hex to get something to get Pulse
Most
X, right?
probably because the Pulsex pairs are going to be stablecoin. Most of it.
Okay, but that's what I'm trying to say. For
But it's
me
going to
to sell, let's say
reroute.
if I
It's
have
going to
10 grand
route.
of
It's going to
hex,
route
for
through
me
the
to sell,
Ethereum.
I know, but famous. Let me ask you the question. If I have 10K of fucking hex, why? What? Like, how do you know for sure that if I sell my hex to get the Pulse X, that it's gonna be actually worth it? But you can see it the way you want. If I'm spending 10 grand to get hex, I need to know that it's gonna be worth it for me
No,
to
because
sell it.
there's no liquidity on the other side. You have to understand that the only reason why you're buying 10 grand of hex is because there's a liquidity with a ratio that says if you put $10,000 worth of Ethereum or USDC, then
Yeah.
you're going to get at this much slippage, therefore. Okay, cool. Now, on the other side, there is no liquidity. So we have to create a liquidity. The same way when a
Yeah,
new
you have to
chain
create a
comes
liquid.
in, you
Yeah,
have to take the
like a
ETH.
new coin.
What?
Yeah. I understand that.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
so then people are going to
but that's
want
a
to
gamble.
trade
You're
their
gambling
hex
with your thing.
for P hex because it's going to be an insane ratio.
That's like buying hex at the beginning, and re-waiting for it to build up again. That like no,
Yes and no, but it doesn't matter
it's
because
like it's a
everything's
lot of time
copied. It's not
wasting. No.
restarted. Everything's copied. We have all our stakes, everything's getting copied. All the NFT.
Yeah, I
So
understand that.
it's as if like you're in the same situation except you're able to buy both sides. So there's the new
Wait,
ETH and
hold
the
on.
new Uni. That's it.
let me ask you a quick question, because you said trade their hex on Ethereum over to p hex because they're going to get an insane ratio. Now, I hope that everybody understands that during the ratio trading phase, you cannot buy in to these ratios until after 2 days.
No, the 2 days is not
Until
confirmed. The 2 days is not confirmed because there's going to be bridges right away.
no,
Yeah, I don't know what
never.
what you're talking about. ETHW, we were
Okay,
able to
well,
bridge
that's
in
not my
things right away.
understanding.
We didn't have to
I
wait. We
never
didn't
heard
have
this.
to wait for
You can just no.
No.
Okay,
I'm
so
telling you that idea
how
of
do you know that?
48 hours, that idea of 48 hours is because Richard said, "Oh, well, you might get 24 to 48 hours." But how is that possible when people on exchanges are just going to be selling Pulse Chain and all the other PHEC coins if they want to? If they want to, as soon as it comes
Okay,
out, we don't need no bridge. Someone's going to do it. Someone's going to have it. Someone's going to say, "Holy shit, I got it. Okay, boom, here's a bridge." Someone's going to come
Yo,
out with
Femi, by the
something.
way, I'm not trying to bash you guys. I'm just trying to understand it, by the way, in case anybody
No,
thinks
no,
that
I
I'm
know, but
trying
I'm
to,
just
I'm
letting
not
him
trying to
know that
bash
it's
hex.
just that's the way it's gonna be. Like, if someone thinks there's gonna be 48 hours, no bridges, that's fucked, man. That's impossible. Then that means bro, it's impossible. If W had a bridge in like a second, that as soon as it opened, there was like, yeah, okay, here it is, 2 exchanges, boom, there's the bridge.
so explain how it's possible then.
Well, you make a bridge.
The end, you make a bridge. All
Yeah,
right.
pretty much. Like if you're Power City, if you're Pulse LN, if you're MEXC, if you're Binance, Coinbase, if you technically have the capability of understanding how to create a bridge for the ETH 2.0 right now, all you would need to do is have that file open, fix the line of code when you get the actual RPC settings, and boom, it's done.
In bridges, for one, from my understanding, they're one of the hardest things to stop vectors of attack.
100%.
Like, so, like, you think that hexagons and people are going to be that stupid to trust some fucking rando in the hex community, Power City, ooh, and you're gonna trust them to put thousands of dollars into their bridge over to the Pulse Chain network. You're gonna trust that when bridges are like what
Myself,
the
no.
hardest things to complete is security. Okay,
Myself, no.
so I mean, hexagons, from what I heard and what I know, being in this ecosystem for about 3 years, are fucking the smartest people that I've seen, that I've heard or met in crypto.
So I've been in this community for a year, and most of the OGs don't know what they're doing. So
Either way,
I've been in crypto
either
three
way,
times
you
as
don't
longer
have to
than
be stupid
your
not
day
to
one
know.
OG. I've been in it for 3 times more, and most of them I've seen them in it, and I just don't say anything. But like at the end of the day, man, it's like you have to understand something.
Yeah, but
You have to understand
I'm not
something.
the smartest
I've
guy.
been here every day. I've been around the whole community. I've seen, I've listened, I've heard, and most people are gonna trust those bridges, man. I'm not saying to do
Bro, they're
it.
fucking
I
retards
think
if
you're
they
right.
do.
You're like trapped right now, and I'm not saying you're wrong. But the sad truth is that
What?
if we don't talk about the option of bringing the PRC20 to Ethereum, people will trust those bridges. People will take their value and get wrecked in a bridge and get wrecked in ratio trading because they see
For
value
Well,
sure.
then,
on
yeah, they're gonna
Ethereum.
get wrecked in ratio trading too if they're that
But
stupid.
they won't get
If
wrecked
they're
on
But
that
ETH.
FOMO.
They won't get wrecked
you
on
guys
ETH
are just
because
building
if
up the
it's
pool.
too much of a deal, people are just going to dump the chart, man. Like on ETH, you could see the actual value. You don't get dick. On Pulse Chain, you will get dick because they don't understand the ratio trading, but they understand what 100 USDC can give them. They say, oh, I could have got 100 USDC. How much would it have given me? 1,000,000 coins. Am I getting 1,000,000 coins right now? No. Okay. Well, then they're gonna come to us and they're gonna say, "Is this a good deal?" That's what, and I think that it's just gonna be better like that when it's on ETH. It's so much better to just not have to deal with it. If we only
Yo,
push Pulse Chain and bridge your Ethereum to Pulse Chain, bro, they're gonna get dicked. Everyone's gonna get dicked, and they're gonna trust the bridges, bro. I'm telling you, everything happens for a reason.
yo, bro, I would probably only do that when the LP is full, bro, because you don't want to be fucking funding the LP for these guys for the whole bridge to function. To be honest, because you're gonna get wrecked if somebody sells or something. Somebody does something stupid. The first couple of days that this thing releases, you're fucked.
How do you bring Pulse PHEX to Ethereum without a bridge?
You can't.
No, the copy. You preset yourself right now with your copy, and that's how you get onto post chain. This is all routing, or like we're talking about different things at the same time here. So like, if you want something on post chain, you need to make your moves right now. So if you want hex on post chain, you have to buy your hex right now, and you have a copy of your hex on post chain. It's simple.
So to answer your question, if I'm gonna sell an EP hex and move it over to Ethereum or Pulse Chain, I'm gonna wait until there's a trusted bridge that has history of working properly, not any of this third-party bullshit, and then I'm gonna bridge it on over. That'd be
So
my best advice.
did Famous? He just leave the room, but he was talking about taking PHEX over to Ethereum because that's where the value is going to be. Did I hear him correctly?
Yeah,
I don't know.
yes, he is saying that, but he's saying that people are going to be doing that, or maybe that's his plan through like these third-party bridges. I would never recommend that to anyone.
Are you saying that Power City is a third party bridge?
100%.
And but see that they are touting themselves as the most reliable, and Famous is saying that people are gonna, most
Talk is
people are,
cheap. Talk is
yeah,
cheap. I don't give a fuck.
right. So,
Bridges
but
are the hardest thing. Is the hardest thing in crypto to have good security on. And you know what?
I'm not saying to go by Power City, but listen to me. I'm saying that people right now are gonna do it because they're trusting Power City. Whether we like it or not, they trust Power City. Now, Power City is not a registered, oh, here, Pulse Chain approved. No, 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 no. It's a project like any other project on there. Don't be fooled. Obviously, it's not like, oh, it's gonna scam you. And
Hold on,
right, it could be all
real
fucked
quick,
up.
Famous. I think I don't think anybody heard you say this before though, but you tried Pulse Ramp the other way around, and this is where you got the idea. Nobody's hearing that you tried Pulse Ramp on testnet V2V and saw that you were able to move a token from Pulse Chain to the Ethereum side. Well, testnet.
Hey, Famous, can you do me a favor and just explain to people why they would want to move one from one blockchain to the other? What reasons or logic there would be beyond the ratio trading is one thing that you guys that are actually, in the know and have experience doing that, you guys are going to be able to probably benefit one way or the other from that. But for the average user, I mean, what is the argument against just sitting on your hands and doing nothing and getting your PHEX when it's over there and just waiting for price discovery and seeing that eventually, the automated market makers are actually starting to create, some pricing into the whole platform. Because I mean, to me, all of it just seems too fucking sketchy and risky to do anything in the first few weeks. But that's just me because I don't have any
I'm
reason
with you.
to move that stuff.
Yeah, but the majority of those guys they're talking about pricing here, they're traders. So their fingers are very
Yeah,
itchy. So they're not gonna wait for anything. They wanna be like, oh, that's it, I'm getting my deal. So that's what they're asking. They're trying to figure out how they're gonna get a best deal on their trades. They're not gonna hold anything.
yeah,
Yeah, but
that's
if you're
so,
asking in this chat right now, if you're asking any of these questions, you shouldn't be doing any fucking thing except going back to learn all this shit. Famous is just talking about routing in a certain situation, and Donald's trying to clear up the certain situation that you're in. But if you don't know what situation you're in or what you're trying to do on any of these chains, you should just be listening and taking fucking notes. But if your question is where am I going to find the money, you're already wrecked.
my question earlier was when I get my free copy of Hex on Pulse Chain, and I swap that, and I swap it for Pulse Chain, for PLS, and let's say I'm not the only one that does that. Let's say the majority of the people that get free Hex, let's say like 50% of them swap it, and that now there's less. I guess they're just it's not even a value trade. It's just I'm confused because like if there's a lot of people swapping their free copies of Hex for Pulse Chain, there's going to be less PHEX, which maybe make it worth more money.
yeah, but those are still unknowns because you're talking about tokens that actually are being released with no value, no initial value. That's because of tax implications and stuff like that. That sacrifice meant sacrifice. You're get maybe something, but you're going to get something with no value.
So then let's just go beyond, because Famous was just explaining very clearly that the value comes from liquidity, and until there's liquidity, there's really no idea of knowing. But let's just go forward beyond that and figure out there will be people who add liquidity to, let's say, the PHEX and the PLS pool. Okay, there will be they want there to be. There's going to be OGs that provide that. A group of OGs that want there to be liquidity between the pairs. So if there's liquidity and it's stabilized, and you have what are you going to do with your copies of a lot of people are going to be swapping out of their PHEX into Pulsechain, and that's where I'm curious.
Yeah, I understand that whole concept. The whole thing that I'm saying is, regardless of what happens with those kinds of swaps and those kind of exchanges that people are going to be doing, is that at some point in time, people are basically going to be, it seems to me, I mean, this is my gut feeling, is it'll be like musical chairs. They're just going to keep swapping between the thing that is interpreted as being the most value, or this token has a higher value or market cap or whatever than that token. So people are exchanging this token for that token back and forth until they feel satisfied that they've got the right amount of the token that they want. So it's like literally like musical chairs. They're just moving tokens from one place to another and swapping them from one token to another, which to me, it just, unless you're actually getting a fucking, and a crazy good deal.
Yo, and they're making money on those
Yeah.
every single swap like that, by the way.
Yeah. But it just, what's to keep them from just finding some kind of a parity or some kind of equilibrium between them, and then it just becomes not profitable to do that? I mean, is that also possible that they just reach some kind of a parity?
Depending on the pairs and depending on how much liquid's in each of those pairs, you could get them just all trekking up together. But going back to the hex, I got hex copy, and what do I do with my hex copy? And say I want Pulsechain or Pulsex. There's motherfuckers out here that have enough Pulsex and Pulsechain for PLS to take your fucking hex. So if you think hex is gonna fucking dip, I mean, if you gotta treat your hex like fucking diamonds, like money. You gotta treat it just like how it is. It's a money printer. You really think motherfuckers are gonna leave money printers just sitting there? Nah, you gotta be crazy. You can give me all your hex if you want.
Yeah, I agree, because the hex protocol is going to be the same protocol on the Pulse side that it is on the Ethereum side. So yeah, it makes sense, because for me, the hex that I get over on the Pulse chain is going to be great, because I'm just going to make sure that continues to be staked, because the stuff that I've got on the Ethereum channel is already staked. So I'm going to get copies of those stakes, right? So that just means that stuff's just going to stay there. It's going to, continue to accrue yield. So that to me is honky dory. I don't have to worry about that. But yeah, I can understand now what you're talking about. Is like, how many of those people are going to want to take whatever Pulse they got, or Pulsex that they got into from sacrificing, and just convert it into hex on the Pulse chain. Yeah, I see what you're talking about now. Makes more sense. Because that was my whole question too, was the idea that you're going to take any Pulse or Pulsex, and how are you going to get yield from that, other than providing liquidity? So yeah, a lot of different options that are going to be available to everybody.
I want to swap some of my free hex for Pulsechain.
I think I want to swap some of my Pulsechain for P-Hex. I just don't know how much. I don't know what the ratio is going to be like. It should be a better deal.
You know what else nobody's talking about? Nobody's talking about how about if it's going to be a stable coin in there on the beginning. Of course, we know value, but considering stable coin, a lot of people probably going to want to swap for that and then decided what they want to buy later, which one is better.
What everybody's forgetting also is the OA.
What about it?
How is it going to behave? Is it going to provide liquidity in both chains, for example, Ethereum and in its own exchange too, to get the thing started?
If the OA comes as a player, the OA is just like me and you. It doesn't matter just because he has a lot of money. What if God Whales comes in? Like, it doesn't make a difference. What you have to understand is someone's gonna do it. And if you think there's gonna be more money brought into Pulse Chain than Pulse Chain pairing to itself, you guys don't understand. It shows who's experienced in this. Because I know for a fact that if I had to do this again and again and again and again, and if I had the chance to not bring value in and make my whole chain a bitch to that value, bro, I would do it right away, bro. I would take that stupid coin and I would pair it to value on the most valuable chain. And then say, yeah, that's my fucking value. And then play as whales and say, yo, whales, let's fucking make a price. And then make all the stupid fuckers dump their shit and pick up all their supply like the wreck plebs that they should be. That's how it's gonna happen. It's exactly what's gonna happen. They're gonna give everyone the chance to dump on ETH more than on Pulse Chain, because on Pulse Chain it's just ratio value. It's not actual value. You're not getting anything out. Everyone has to take out of the bridge. It's gonna be annoying, man.
Wondrous.
Give them
Well,
everything.
let's get one
Just a
thing
second,
straight.
guys.
Not in my head, bro. You have no experience, in my opinion. You didn't do the testnet when it started. You didn't do a W when it started.
You don't even even
I
know me. What are
do.
you
I'm
talking
how
about?
so then what are you
You
talking
don't know
about?
me at
So what are you
all.
talking about? You
What are
don't
you
even know
talking
what
about?
happened at the beginning, how
I've been
people
on the test
reacted.
net since
You
it
don't
came
understand
out. What are
how
you
the last
talking about?
10
I've been
years
here.
of
You've
Ethereum
been
Guys,
here
has
for
guys,
3 years.
reacted.
guys,
You
I've
guys,
been here
actually
guys,
for
talk
guys.
like you
3.
understand, but
Please,
you really
I've been
don't.
here for
please.
3
You really
years.
don't. It doesn't matter. What does
Professional,
that tell me that you have 3 years? I don't give a shit if you're a day one Hexagon. The
please.
day one Hexican's
Professional.
reputation is a
You're
bunch
saying
of
I
wreck
don't know
fucking
anything, and I
plebs that
haven't even
steal
been on
from each
testnet. You don't
other.
even know me.
Bro, it doesn't
Gentlemen,
matter. I can
gentlemen,
tell by the way you're speaking, you don't understand how this
gentlemen.
works.
Please, please, please. We're getting places, but then it devolves for like 30 seconds. But yeah, it's unbecoming,
It's like as
guys.
if the day ones know what's happening. And then why aren't the day ones explaining everyone how it is? Why did the day ones do everything? The day ones don't know fuck all about crypto. Even the day ones that know crypto say that the day ones don't know fuck all about crypto. The day ones been proving it. Look at the content that's out. They're fucking wrecked. They don't know what they're doing. They're just lucky if they held. I'm telling you, man, you don't. Because if anyone would understand it, they'd be saying the same shit I am, or they wouldn't even be saying anything but listening and thinking. If anything, not listening but thinking, because they know how it's done. And they're like, oh shit, he's right. He's right. The mistakes were bringing in liquidity into ETH. People will be dumping on ETH, and it's gonna be easy because we can scoop it all up. But it's gonna be so easy for whales. They understand, man.
So moving my free copies of Hex on Pulsechain over to Ethereum and selling them is the play.
No, man. I don't understand why why does it have to be the play? I'm giving you options. That's what's gonna happen. If you think that the play is gonna be someone's gonna take their P hex and change it for Pulsex, well, why do you think that's the only play? If you think that the value of those things are going to be anything, well, how did they get the value? If one of them is valuable, then they're all valuable. So how is the value coming from? And we all think it's going to be Hexicans bringing in their money, the cheapazoids. They're going to bring in their money. You serious?
I'm here today to talk about is what am I going to do with my free copies of Hex? I think I'm going to swap some copies of. I'm going to swap it for some
Nah,
PLS
man, you
on
should
Pulsechain.
stake it because that fucking T-share rate is gonna go up faster than my anger right now. You should not swap
Good
your
point.
P-Hex. Why? Because it's a important coin in the ecosystem. You should wait. Everyone works. No one's broke here. No one's living off of crypto. And if you are, well, then you should be listening because you're gonna be able to continuously buy PLS, PLSX, and it's going to be easier than you think because they're going to make it easy for the dumbasses to do, just like they always make it easy for you to get wrecked. And what you
Very.
and you stake your pulse. Who cares if you have something to do with pulse and pulse chain? That's like 30,000 people are in the situation where they say, I don't have to do anything. I don't have to do anything. And if those people that say that, well, they don't care about helping the lower guy, the newer Hexican, the guy who's gonna be the guy you dump on. They don't want to help you. They're just gonna say, yeah, do nothing, bitch. You got in only getting down, 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 and just what? 3 weeks ago, you got your nice little DCA pie, and then they're telling you, nah, don't do shit, bro. But they're the same guys that told you, yeah, keep buying, it's dumping, keep buying, it's dumping, keep buying, it's dumping. And you're telling me I'm supposed to listen to these quote unquote OGs? Fuck out of here. The only
Don't
ones.
talk to me. Hey,
Get
I'm
the
not. I'm
fuck
not
I
telling
know
out
you
it's
of
who to
not you.
listen
I know
here.
to.
it's not you, Hexlove, but I'm just saying, bro. For me, I they deserve respect. A year of calling shit, and I'm right. I didn't get one person yet telling me I'm wrong. I'm right. I understand this.
Yeah, no.
I'm involved in this.
Yeah.
I'm a big boy. I'm the big boy in this. And then I have to have that guy tell me I don't know what the fuck I'm saying. He didn't even understand what the fuck, bro.
Bro,
Forget
I
about it, bro.
never said that you didn't know what you were
No, no,
saying.
no, bro.
You
You,
told
you,
me
I,
that I
you,
don't know what the
and
fuck
I'm
I'm saying.
telling you, you don't know
No.
what you're
I
saying.
never told you that.
I'm telling you,
All
you
I
don't
said
know
is
what
that
you're saying.
nobody knows anything for a fact as of right
We
now.
do
That's all I
know
was
for a
saying.
fact that you're able to do it. And if you know that for a fact, how do you know that you don't know that for a fact? I know for a fact we
No,
could do it.
no.
I know
You're
for a
saying
fact we
you're
could do
saying
it.
that certain things are gonna happen for a
Yeah, it will
fact.
happen. It will happen because if you could go one way, you could go the other. So if you think that there's going to be value on Pulse Chain without Pulse Chain being on Ethereum, then enjoy, man. Yeah, at least you heard it here first from your boy.